the immediate aftermath was just kind of like, what happened? Can we make sense of this somehow? And then as we started to figure it out, we realized the seriousness of the situation. It's a question of, I haven't seen, my roommate, I haven't seen him. Where's he at? Is he okay? Trying to call parents and let them know that, yeah, I'm all right, but I haven't heard from, this guy. It was pretty heartbreaking. To make it better, we needed to play, and we needed to play for those guys. That's what they would have wanted, and we had a team meeting, and that's what we said. We knew each one of those guys would have wanted us to play, and that was really the best medicine for all of us as well.
Because I know science says that I should be dead. It is only by the tremendous gift, by the grace of God, that I am alive. And my heart just aches for the families of the ones who were killed. I see out of these players today is how fiercely they fought. And it reminds me how fiercely I fought to get back, just to be able to sit up here and talk to you and breathe on my own.
But yeah, I remember when I pulled up when I first laid eyes on it, I made a report that, it was clear that we knew it was going to be a very serious incident, multiple injuries and probable fatalities. Even though these young men had been through such a tremendously horrific situation, they didn't show fear. They looked at the incident. There wasn't panic. There wasn't hysteria. They were working to help their friends. They were concerned about each other, and that was probably the biggest thing that stood out in my mind was that these young men, even though they had been through such a horrible thing, I think their faith was strong, and I think that's what led them through this, and I think that's what gave them the strength to handle it the way they did and to respond the way they did.
Well, we always felt like we were a really close-knit team before the accident, but obviously the accident really emphasized and highlighted the togetherness of the team. They just had to lean on each other, and we had to, as a group, to pull through all the feelings and emotions we were having and the grieving that we were going through. So it definitely highlighted and emphasized the togetherness we already had, but it certainly moved it forward for us.
Now, when you see a tragedy like this, you see the human spirit kind of come out. Is there something about your team that really surprised you from that?
To be honest, no. I always knew it was a special group of players, so it didn't surprise me to see them support each other in the ways that they did and to continue moving forward, and especially now with where they're at in their lives. So it didn't surprise me in that way.
Now, you continue to honor the young men that lost their lives that day. Is there one thing that you really hope that people can learn from their loss?
Oh boy, I didn't think about that. Good thing this isn't live.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I think what I'd want people to learn from their loss is that, obviously life is fleeting, it's short, and we all need a support system for with our own families and with our friends, so that way we can handle all the tough times in life, whether it's something as tragic as the bus accident or whatever else is going on in our lives or even in our friends' lives. So we need that support system. So hopefully, in some ways that's a memory for all of us to be supportive of other people, because we never know what they're going through.
Now, besides the team coming together, the community really surrounded you guys, and not only this community, but the Atlanta community and everything. Now, how does that make you feel that people really supported you through all of this?
I've always had a hard time kind of describing and being appreciative of the support we've had from across the country, the thousands of letters and emails and messages that we receive, and obviously the prayers and the things that we don't even know about, the support that we were getting. And so it's always been a hard job to thank so many people, but it really was heartwarming and a part of our recovery to know that so many people cared about us, to stop what they were doing, to pray for us, to send us notes of encouragement, to help us continue forward.
Is there something that you tell, from the teams since that accident, your teams that you coach, is there something you tell them about that team?
Well, I just talked to them about kind of each of the individual players and some of the things that they kind of overcame in their life to be on the bus, to earn that right to go to Florida that year. And, they weren't, hold on, let me start over.
No, that's fine.
So ask it again. So
Okay. Yeah. Is there something you tell the teams that came after that team? about the 2017.
Yeah, so I share with them about you know, some of the individual players that were on the bus and the things that they overcame in their personal lives, so that way they can earn the right to go to Florida that year. And also, just as a collective, you know, you have to understand why you play the game of baseball and why you want to be a part of a group like that. And it's more than just about us as individuals; it's more about the collective. And so, and that team obviously exemplifies what it means to be a team and to truly care about your friends and teammates.
Is there going to be one thing you're going to be thinking about on Thursday when the 10th anniversary?
Well, I always take a minute or two or more to pause on that day, but you know, what's been a challenging thing for me is every year since the bus accident, we're getting ready to go to Florida again. So I have another team that I'm trying to prepare to get rid of Florida, make sure the logistics are organized and everything else. So my wife and I will take some time. We always share some memories of, you know, my time in the hospital and her experiences and our experiences as a family, but not one thing in particular. It's just, it really, I mean, the 10th anniversary and end of the anniversary is a day of remembrance, especially for, I would say, those necessarily on the outside in the community. But for those of us that were a part of it physically, every day is a memory and an anniversary to an extent. So nothing necessarily special, but at the same time, certainly some, maybe a little bit more remembrance with my wife and our family.
Final question. Was there one thing that maybe stood out that from people coming and giving you support, maybe you and your family or something like that, that really, really uplifted you more than anything else?
You know, in the immediate aftermath, it was really hard to think about that because we were just trying to just press forward, you know, and it took some years to really collect and really truly realize the support that we did have and really appreciate that, you know, and really it's overwhelming, the fact that, you know, not only the Lima Land community supports us and still asks us how we're doing and wants to be involved with us as a baseball program and as a university. So those things kind of are what we remember.
Thank you.
One really quick. And I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's right.
So you were asking like what you asked and like in terms of the current team. Don't you bring all the new recruits to the Circle of Remembrance? Didn't I hear you say that at some point or something like that? I don't know if that's anything that you care about, but I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying that for you. I don't know if you, okay, I'm trying to think how I want to start it. Yeah, so one of the things, you know, that we make sure that is, hold on, I'll start again. I know you can edit all this, which is good.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, do you want me to ask you?
Ask me a lead-up question to it.
Is there a tradition that you do with the teams coming up that you do every year to kind of help remember that 2017?
We don't necessarily have a tradition, but I think one of the things that happens as the story carries on is that in recruiting, you know, we walk everyone to the field to show them our field, and obviously the first thing we come to is a Circle of Remembrance, you know, and it's such a great place to honor the 5 players that we lost and also the entire 2017. So every recruit that comes to learn more about our program and to be a part of what we're doing sees that front and center because they know and they have a better idea what it means to play Bluffton baseball.
Thank you very much.